you like this video, click like. If you want to continue to follow our adventure, hit subscribe. Your support would be greatly appreciated. Hello, Little House on the Road subscribers and followers. Well, I thought, you know, we do this little series, and I don't do it very consistently. I do it, you know, maybe once a month. I'm not even sure I do it that much, but maybe I'm not intelligent enough to come up with these things fast enough to actually have a series. But when they do, I want to make sure that I pass them on to you. 7 things to pop-up camper safety. And it kind of varies between when and where it's going to be safe. So let's just go ahead and get started. Number 1, tire pressure on your pop-up and your vehicle, but your pop-up. Well, when I bought my tires, I bought them off an online trailer store, and I was wondering the same thing. You know, what tire pressure should I use, what the weight should be, and all that. And what they said that you have to do is, in order for the tires to be able to hold up the weight that it was allowed to hold up, is on the side of the tire. That's the tire pressure that you're supposed to use. Now again, this is according to the website. You follow your manufacturer's recommendations. I'm just telling you what my manufacturer said. So don't just say, oh, okay, well, Rob said that we're going to use the side of the tire. No. Your manufacturer. My manufacturer said to use the tire pressure that's labeled on the side of the tire. Now it's really hard to see, and you gotta have a flashlight and my reading glasses. The other thing about tire safety is don't overload your trailer. Overloading your trailer is going to heat up those tires, and it's going to expand the pressure inside the tire, and you're going to have a blowout. You know, as the tire temperature heats up, air temperature heats up and expands, and your pressure increases, and you could have a blowout. Also, the thing I like to do, every time I stop, I check the tire, the entire tire. Does the tread look well? Is there any damage I can see? Is there anything that looks like I might have scuffed the sidewall with? You know, did I run up on a curb? I always check the tire pressure at every stop. Some people actually buy one of those remote control tire pressure monitors. You know, I didn't, but I'm sure you could. And you can, you know, put that in the cab, and you can watch your tire pressures just like I do in my truck. Number 2, and I don't know if this is a big deal. I mean, a lot of people worry about it, and I understand the worry. When I bought my camper, the second time I lifted it up, I mean, it was old and needed a lot of work. You know, it's a 1970 pop-up camper, but the second time I raised it up, the cables broke on it. 3 of the cables broke. And I was thankful that I was not inside. So as a safety measure, what I think is a good idea, and the one that we use, is put 2x2s in the camper on each side. Now you can just do 2, and if it breaks while it's up, it won't just come, you know, smashing down on you. It might be a little bit off balance and wiggly, and but if you get 4, you put 1 in each corner. If they break, you could probably still enjoy your camping trip, and then just lower the 2x4s as you lower the camper when you go home. But anyway, the idea behind that is if it does break while you're in it, it doesn't smash your head. It, you know, they are kind of heavy. I don't think it'll kill you, but it might hurt you. So anyway, number 3. I've heard a lot of people ask the question, why do I have so much sway? Why do you know, and you get sway bars and all kinds of things to reduce the sway. There is a video that goes around on Facebook about this little model car, and I'm not going to use it because I don't know if it's any proprietary rights or anything, so I don't want to steal it. It's somebody else's idea, but they use a little model car, they put it on a treadmill type thing with a trailer. And they put all the weight in the front, and then they push the trailer, and it wiggles and then comes right back. Wiggles and comes right back. Wiggles and comes right back. Then they put all the weight in the back of the trailer, and it wiggles and wiggles until the car flips over. You got to put your weight, 80% of your weight has to be in the front end of the camper. And a lot of people say, well, all my storage is in the front end. Well, that's fine. But what else are you carrying that you're not thinking about? Do you have clothes tucked up underneath the bed? Do you have a heavy mattress? Is all your silverware at your sink? You got to think about all the weight that you're carrying. My gray water tank, which was originally, and I'm not going to get into that right now, but my gray water tank, which was originally the freshwater tank, is behind the wheel. It's on the back end. If that is full, you know, there's 80 pounds of weight that you've just shifted from the front to the back. Okay? I have an air conditioner on the back end of the camper. I don't know what it weighs, but let's say it weighs 50 pounds. There's some more weight that you just put in the back. You're adding more weight in the back. All that weight has to be counted. If you have storage in the front and you're putting your hoses and you know, a pair of shoes or something in the front, and all your clothes and all your water and everything else is in the back, you're going to get this sway. So 80% of your weight has to be on the front end. Number 4. This one seems kind of obvious, but I've actually saw someone do it not that long ago. Don't stand in between a solid object and the camper when it's backing up. Or don't stand in between the truck and the camper when the truck is backing into the camper. Lots of things can go wrong, and especially when you're backing up, you can't see a lot. So you need to be standing to the side of the camper. If you're helping the driver out back up, stand to the side of the camper. That way, if his foot falls off the brake or something, you're not smashed in between a tree or a guardrail or anything and the camper. He's not even going to know, other than he's just bumped into something, that he has just ran over or pinned someone in between this object and the camper. Number 5. Smoke detector and fire extinguisher. Look, you're literally living inside a piece of material. It's canvas. If it goes up, it's going to go up in a really big hurry. And then all that, I don't know, particle board or whatever they use for everything else, lights right up. I mean, it lights right up. You're going to be in some serious trouble. One thing I do want to point out is if your camper does catch on fire while you're sleeping and you're out on the bunk ends, remember, if you're trapped inside that camper, and I just put this in your head, that and you can't get to the door, go through the canvas, rip it open, get out of there, jump down off that bunk end. Number 6, weather. The camper does really well in the wind. It really does. Ours does. About 40 miles an hour, and you know, it starts to wiggle pretty good, but it's done pretty good. But I can imagine that, you know, you get into 50, 60 mile an hour winds, this thing's really gonna not want to cooperate. Look, here's the thing. I know it's an inconvenience to have to lower the canopy. It may be an inconvenience to have to leave your campsite. It may be an inconvenience to have to go to seek shelter, but do it. So what we do, since this is our home and we want to try to protect our home, we're always monitoring the weather. Always, always, always monitoring the weather. What is the weather going to be like? And if it starts to get a little breezy out, you know, we're out there checking on the weather. So always be aware of the weather. If we see severe thunderstorms on the way, or tornado warnings or tornado watches, we lower the canopy. We don't even question it, we just lower the canopy. Now, if you're in an area that has nothing, and you have no place to stay, you can stay in the truck. Now, in severe thunderstorms, staying in the truck is not a bad option. We've slept in the truck on a severe thunderstorm. Tornado, on the other hand, if you're looking at tornado warnings, tornado watches, just get out of there. You may need to go to a hotel. Find some place that you can be safe. Those campers are not designed to stand up against wind. If you get stuck and you absolutely cannot leave, or something has happened, take shelter in the bathroom, in the privy, or whatever. Get some protection between you and the storm. We were in Tennessee, and I've told the story a couple times. We were in Tennessee. We'd been traveling all day. We just got there, just got the camper raised up, and the campsite host come around and said, "There's a tornado warning. I suggest you seek shelter in the bathroom." Well, the bathroom was quite the trip, so we all got in. I mean, everybody at the campsite, they were just lining up and heading to the bathroom. So use a lot of caution. Okay, number 7, the final one, and it's a good one. And this is what I'm talking about. You can discuss in any type of camper, but in the pop-up, I'm going to use some specifics that you need to be aware of. Carbon monoxide. You need a carbon monoxide detector. Remember, you have propane. I got the Mr. Heater Portable Buddy, and we also use the propane stove. So we do have carbon monoxide risk. The thing is I don't think that is the biggest risk. Yes, it's there, but usually when you're cooking, the heater, the propane stove, you're up, the windows are open, and there's plenty of breeze. The same applies with the Mr. Heater Portable Buddy. There's a ton of ventilation inside the camp, inside a pop-up camper, and I've done a little thing about this. I'm not overly concerned about the heater, but just the other day, this one did concern me. We were sitting in the camper, I'm running the generator, and there's not much breeze. The generator sits right underneath the front bunk end, where the battery sits, and I started smelling fumes, and I noticed I was getting a headache, and I don't know, I just wasn't feeling well. And it occurred to me, those fumes are coming in through the canvas. There was no breeze, and it was just kind of, wafting up. I immediately got out of the camper. Me and Carolyn immediately got out of the camper, shut off the generator, opened up the windows, and I started feeling a lot better. I was probably getting sick from carbon monoxide. So be careful with the generator around the pop-up camper. Those fumes can come in pretty quick. If you smell fumes from that generator coming in, just move it. Just get it away from the camper. So be aware of carbon monoxide from the generator. We were sitting right next to that bunk end, probably hadn't gotten to the carbon monoxide detector or whatever the case was, but I felt a lot better when we got outside. So anyway, there was our 7 safety tips to living in a pop-up camper. Hope it helps. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Click like if you like the video. Happy travels.